Hey guys, Job here, the local.
And I'm Rachel, the gringa.
And today we have a very special guest in the studio. We have Dr. Renee. Now, Dr. Renee is a general practitioner, right?
Correct.
In the island, and she's been here for how many years, doctor?
27 going on 28.
27 going to 28.
Full time, not the coming back for.
Is that older than you, Job?
That is about my age, a little older than me. Well, that is spectacular. And I mean, in such an island, and especially in an island that is focused a lot with expatriates living here, health is, I would say, one of the main concerns for a lot of expats coming here. Tell us a little bit more about what your journey to Belize was like, and why. I mean, I imagine 27 years ago, that was a pretty long time. Why Belize? How Belize?
Yeah. Well, I kind of say got here by a series of natural disasters, to be honest. I was born in North Dakota, raised in northern Minnesota, grew up on a farm. My father was an administrator. Got married out of university, and my now ex-husband and I decided we were going to go to law school. So we started law school, and then he decided, I think we should do medicine. So being the good, dutiful wife, I said, okay, let's go do that. So I was going to go into nursing, and he was going to go into optometry. And through that process, he's like, wow, we could go to a foreign medical school and get done a lot quicker. So we looked into that, and then that's how we got into American University of the Caribbean. It's located in Montserrat in British West Indies. And July 18th, 1995, the volcano that had been dormant for 250,000 years erupted. And we had volcanoes and taking our exams with gas masks on. And, we had the car parked. We're so naive. We had the car parked, towards the entrance in case we had to run. If it's going to erupt, we wouldn't outrun the lava, So, yeah, when you're young, you don't think. So of the 100 and some in our class, only 27 of us finished. And then everyone else left. I stayed because a lot of people brought their stuff to our house because it was on the safe side of the island. And it got really bad, so they had to evacuate. And we got the last private plane off the island. And there was earthquakes and all this. So we were first years. They sent first years to St. Martin, St. Martin, and second years came to Belize. So starting to see my journey. So we got to St. Martin, St. Martin, and we got hit by 3 hurricanes within 3 weeks. So Iris was a 3, Lewis was a 5, and Marilyn was a 4. So even the school, they didn't, now you leave a volcano, now we're in hurricanes, and we moved 17 times, and we couldn't find a place that had water and electricity. So you'd see all the students like in parking lots, underneath the parking lights. We're sitting there studying because we didn't have electricity and water. So when it came time, we finished, we were like, we're out of here. And that's then the second year's in Belize. So that's how I got to Belize. So I actually did my second year of school in Belize City at the Biltmore Hotel.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And the Carl Huesner had just opened, and as 4-year students, or 5th semester students in our last basic science semester, we actually got allowed to go and observe. And that's how I met Dr. Kowich, who was then the head of he was the medical director at Carl Huesner. So I've known him and Dr. Cobb and Dr. Coy and Dr. Rosado for a very long time, but in that role, I was a student. When everyone else left, my ex and I stayed because he wanted to start a medical school. So that's what, yeah. So that's what we did. So while everybody else was studying for their exams, we were working with government to start our own school. And we got initial permission in letter of understanding in December of '96. And then we actually opened in September of 97, St. Matthew's University School of Medicine, right where Alaya is now. That's where we were located. And so then we were in our clinical rotations, and our first ones were in Los Angeles. So then we're working on catalogs and stuff for our school, and he would fly the red eye from LA to Belize to keep working, and then I would be in the room, working on all the other stuff. And then from there, we ended up going to England. And so I could do my 8 hours at the clinic and then another 8 hours of business for the school because of the time change. So I'd get done. So when people complain to me about, it's tough, I'm like, well, sometimes you just got to suck it up and do it. And then once a month or once every 2 months, I would pull a double shift in the hospital, and then I'd jump on a flight from London, come over to Belize, do 72 hours straight of admin, and then jump on the plane, go change in the airport bathroom, and then be on the board at 6 a.m. for clinics. So that's how I initially came to Belize. And then when we finished our clinical rotation, we came and then did the full-time administration at the school. Our initial agreement with government was that we wouldn't practice, only in times of emergency. So I never practiced medicine. I didn't practice in the US. I wasn't licensed in the US. So most of my experience is under the UK system and then the Belize system. And in the UK, it's very intense. The Brits are very intense. So I got really good clinical knowledge. And then I taught and I was the administrator in our school until we had a hostile takeover in June 1st, 2001. And we actually are still in court with that. We just won CCJ 22 years later, but it's still getting finished. So yes, the wheels of justice do go slow. And then we partnered with another gentleman and opened Medical University of the Americas. We initially were at the Convention Center by Yacht Club. And then we built a facility across from Victoria House. Shortly after, I found out my husband was having extracurricular activities, and so I resigned.
That was what?
That was in 2006.
2006. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So he had started earlier, and I was suspecting, but I just didn't. But I got confirmation January 6, 2006. I remember that date very well.
Oh my gosh.
And then, so he left back to the US and I stayed because I had these two little kids. And I started doing private consulting with companies and educational institutions and governments with doing accreditation and licensure.